Hello and welcome to another episode of the Never Worst Podcast. I'm your host, Tom Brown, joined as always by Jack and Tim. Now it's just three ways. That's how we do it. So
I had a
guys,
three-way last night. Roast beef.
and what was that third entry?
No, that's how you get it. Mayonnaise, barbecue sauce, American cheese.
What? I don't think
Those
you
are
know
the
what you're
three
talking
ways.
about.
Those are the three. Yep. Tom, I don't think you know what you're.
I
I
think
follow a
if
beef
anybody
page.
knows what they're talking about in regards to roast beef, it's Tim. Look it up.
So we have to start with the last thing we saw. We're not going to go in chronological order here because the ending of the Ravens-Bills game, which wasn't like a super great game until this very last drive,
I'd say the
was
fourth quarter.
Yeah, the fourth quarter was really great.
Yeah, okay. So I texted you guys, Mark Andrews fumbled. Mark Andrews had a fourth quarter. And he fumbled on a drive that would have the Ravens were moving the ball the whole game. And he fumbled after a big completion where it was like there were four guys, just fall down. It's slick, it's cold. You got a 20-yard gain, just fall down. And I texted you guys, it's a bummer because I wanted this to end in someone has to drive down to win the game. Or tie, exciting. And I was worried it wasn't going to happen, but it did.
Sure did.
That Mark Andrews play reminded me of when Brandon Cooks got murdered in that playoff game
Eagles
in the
Super Bowl.
Yeah. Like just
It was
one too many spins. Like just
why
get
hit
down.
the circle button right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. You brought up a good point, Tom, where just get down. You're already driving. Like Lamar at that point, to steal a phrase, touching God. There was one point where every time he would drop back, it was like, all right, this is going to be completed at least 15 yards down the field. And he just, I don't know, everybody kept saying the ball was slick, but I mean, he had that tucked pretty good. I think he just made a mistake by staying up too long.
Yeah, it's just fall. It's
unfortunately not his biggest mistake in the fourth quarter.
Right? So the Bills capitalized with a field goal. Personally, I was thinking, you have Josh Allen. You're on the 2-yard line. Go for it on that 4th and 2 or whatever it was. Because if you get stuffed, you're at the 2-yard line on defense. And the Ravens need a touchdown.
Can I say something that bothered me with the Ravens?
Sure.
So they scored the touchdown to go down 2. I think it was late in the third quarter.
Where they ran the ball down the field.
Right. Justin Tucker has had a terrible season, let's say. Why not just take the points there and go down 1? If your defense has been playing well, you have the whole fourth quarter. Why? Going for 2 with that terrible play call too. Like now you're behind the 8 ball the rest of the game. And it seems like that happens more often than they tie the game.
My only guess is if you don't get it, a field goal still wins the game. If you do get it, now you're tied. And if you have the advantage of you can go to overtime. And if you kick the field goal,
but you have to play it off how the game is being played. Your offense just ran it.
Well,
4 plays ran it 96 yards.
And then in that case, you give the ball to Derrick Henry. You get
Maybe that made it stick out worse.
David Prouty product fullback in there. You put a lineman in, and you get every big guy possible, and you just say, "Stop us."
Yeah, I hate that going for 2 in the third quarter to tie the game. Like there's so much football left, and your defense has made some stops. Like because it forces you at the end of the game, like we're going to talk about, to go for 2 when it could have been a 1-point game. Well, I guess
So Tim, I know I agree with you that they should have given the ball to Derrick Henry there, or at the very least had an option with Lamar where they kept the ball on the ground. But looking back, I watched that play again. He had the guy in the end zone. It was batted down at the line. Like the Bills got pressure and batted the ball down. So like they had the right play and they had a guy open in the end zone. But they just like the Bills just made the play. But I agree that taking the ball out of that circumstance and just giving it to Derrick Henry, who was, I don't know, ready for 8 more quarters of football, it looked like in the fourth quarter.
That was insane.
Um, so I just don't know. I don't know why they just didn't turn around and give him the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this all sets up the Andrews fumble, Bills field goal. It's, you know, as stupid as it is because he's young and he's just going to keep getting at least to the playoffs, kind of like a legacy drive for Lamar, where it's like if you fuck up here, if you go 3 and out, you're going to get wrecked for the whole year. And he didn't flinch.
Nope.
That was matriculation down the field.
Ooh.
Oh, thank you. Uh, just bing, bang, boom, touchdown. In the touchdown, he's just standing there dancing, 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 and he just finds. I think was it likely?
Yeah.
To, finds likely, just standing
I thought
there.
that last one was Bateman, but yeah.
Oh, was
No,
it? I don't.
no, the deep one down the middle was likely.
At the
No,
end of the fourth.
the touchdown at the end of the game.
Yeah, it was likely.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, regardless of who caught it, in the end, it didn't really matter because they have to go for two. And now you're like, okay, they threw it last time, got batted down. What are they going to do? They run, in my humble opinion, the play that should be run every fourth and short by every team in the NFL, where you just sprint to the right and you send like 3 guys over there, Coach Tingloff, waggle, and
I don't know.
Mark Andrews, as the ball's going in the air, I'm standing. At this point, there's no reason to sit. I'm standing a foot away from my TV watching. And in the air, the ball's going to Mark Andrews. In my head, I'm going, okay, that makes sense, reliable. Oh, and it will be redemption. Drops it. Fucking just drops it. His ass lands in the end zone. It's just tie ball game. Now you got a minute 13 for Josh Allen to get to field goal range, but still. Unreal.
It was a great play. But I'm just gonna say what Jack was saying. Give it to the guy that got you there. Lamar and Derrick Henry could have ran some sort of read option, something, or just power the ball down with Derrick Henry. You don't think Derrick Henry's getting 2 yards in that situation?
Yeah, I definitely do. But again, I think the play call was right on. Like they had the
Right.
right play call because that was a run play option. Like if people attacked Lamar, he's throwing it to Mark Andrews, and if people covered Mark Andrews, he's pushing the ball in. So I
Right.
think they had the right play call again. This was just
I just think at some point you
a
got to realize it's
complete
not Mark's
failure
game.
to uh, deliver the play. Like that was just bad execution by
But
Mark
he had
Andrews.
2 drops and a fumble earlier. Like, I, I
Yeah,
get it. I
Tim,
guess I
you're
know he was open, but
to
just give it to Derrick
discredit
Henry.
Mark Andrews' whole career off of 2 drops, and especially the fact that he's probably, especially with Zay Flowers out, the absolute favorite target of Lamar Jackson is another thing. Like Lamar trusts Mark Andrews, even still. Like if they had a game today, he'd still throw it to Mark Andrews. Like
I guess, yeah, he did
he
say,
just he just
don't drop the
dropped.
fucking ball after the game, though, in the
I
press
think he was
conference.
talking
So,
about himself when he had a pretty horrendous fumble.
yeah, I think there was a little
But I
Mark
mean,
Andrews
Well, that was
action.
the thing too. Like Tom, you were right when you said the Ravens are kind of dominating. It's just the Bills front loaded takeaways. Like they got the ball from Lamar twice in the first half, and then Mark Andrews just had a Mark Andrews kind of blew it in the fourth quarter,
yeah.
but um, Lamar was all over the Bills. Like he outplayed Josh Allen, I think yesterday.
There were some Josh
Yeah.
Allen runs that nobody was stopping. Like those 2 rushing
I
touchdowns. I mean,
Yeah, that's
They
true.
showed like going into the fourth quarter though. And, you know, the
That
Bills
was
had a
only in
lot
the
of
first
short
half.
fields, but they showed the stats going into the fourth quarter, and they both didn't have great passing yards, passing stats. But I looked at Josh Allen and I was like, whoa, kind of getting bailed out here by two Lamar mistakes. Because when he's had the whole field, he hasn't gone down.
Yeah.
And
Th-
they win, and it doesn't matter. But I just think the three turnovers was the difference. But the Ravens, it's hard to say they were the better team because they turned it over three times,
Sure.
but it
And
seemed
they
like they
lost.
were, and they lost. But you watch it and you're just kind of like, we don't watch hockey often, but Tim, I know you have dabbled before where it's like you're watching a game, you would watch with guys at the jail, and it was like, wow, it seems like the Bruins are getting a lot of shots on the net, but the other team scores,
Mm, I agree with
you
that.
know? Or like a baseball game where your team gets 8 hits and the other team hits 1 3-run homer and you lose. It just seemed like that.
I mean, but to on that point, Josh Allen had 127 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. But then he was one of four rushers with over 20 yards rushing. Like every guy, the average on this is like James Cook, who carried it 17 times, had 4 yards rushing. Ty Johnson averaged 6.2, Ray Davis 7.2, and Josh Allen carried it 10 times, but he also had 20 yards and two touchdowns. So, like the whole talk all week was Baltimore was going to come in and out physical them, and the Bills definitely took the fight to Baltimore.
Yeah, that's what they asked Harbaugh after halftime. And he was like, we have to stop the run. Um, but now I switch. I root for Lamar. I love Lamar. I was I picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl before the season, so I had that little, personal bit to it. But now I'm going to jump through a table on Sunday because the
Are you
Ravens
really?
go up against the Chiefs. I
The
mean, the Bills go
Bills.
up against the Chiefs. Um, the the internet had a field day with this Chiefs game, and
I
it
can't imagine why.
it was the exact thing everyone complains about with the Chiefs, and it happened on three separate, well, two calls, and then one thing. The flop on the sideline, Tim, is something we've talked about. So we'll start here. Will Anderson hits Mahomes on a third down, drive over, called helmet to helmet. Replay is shown it wasn't helmet to helmet. They bring the rules analyst in. He goes, "Yeah, I'm not seeing it."
I will
The
say before we continue, I thought it was great by the booth and the rules analyst to just not. They usually toe the
Yeah,
company line. They were just straight up saying that's not a flag.
when when everyone fell in love with Tony Romo, Troy Aikman kind of just said, "Fuck it, I'm going for it."
Yeah.
And now he complains about quarterback play. Tells it like it is, and it's very refreshing because he did not like it. But worse than that, Mahomes scrambles, doesn't slide, kind of just falls, and two guys are going after him as he's falling, hit each other in the head, and Mahomes. This this happened in the replay, like
Lunch
you were
break?
saying, Tim. Troy Aikman goes, "Oh, come on."
Yeah.
Like roughing the passer as he's throwing, you hit him up in the chest area. That play gets missed a lot. This one was tough. The not giving himself up and two guys trying to tackle him. This was like what the internet says.
Well, and there's plenty of times where they New York comes to their headphones and says, "Hey, that's not a penalty."
But if
Like
they've thrown
it happened in college football this year, and they picked up that pass interference. Like it is something that can be done. They can say, "Hey, that's not. They didn't hit him in the head."
For certain rules, yes. I don't know that it is for that rule or for a personal foul rule. I don't know if it can come off the field. Um, But yeah, I know what you're saying. But I'm not a Mahomes hater. I also think that, for most part, the internet lives in a big conspiracy theory bubble about the NFL refs who want to see the Chiefs three-peat.
Well,
I
that's
don't
silly.
necessarily buy into that, but at the same time, those three calls made it hard to argue against that point because it
Yes.
was clearly somebody showing favoritism for being the most famous player in the NFL.
Yeah, and honestly, people out there that are like, this is rigged. They want Taylor Swift at the AFC Championship game. They want Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey there. Read the room you're in. The NFL is not going to be like, yes, let's have a bunch of people hate watch this. They're not going to be like, let's just do it. They, like,
I think they're going to be fine no matter who is in the Super Bowl in terms of
right.
who's going to
It's the
tune in.
NFL.
Mhm.
And
I think so. I think if it was Texans Bills, people would still watch it.
100%.
Yeah, a
It's
lot of,
not
well,
quite like,
that's it. Oh, you mean the AFC Championship game? I was going to
Right.
say
yeah.
the Super Bowl can't be two teams from the same conference, but
No,
I
I'm
got you.
saying
No,
next
but
week.
if you think of like the ratings were not good when the World Series was Rangers versus Diamondbacks, but the ratings are still going to be over a billion people if it's Texans versus Eagles. It just is because it's a fucking national holiday. That's what it is. Some
Yeah.
people watch the goddamn game, have it tuned into the game just to see commercials. That still happens, I think. And
Oh,
who's
sure.
who's performing at halftime this year? Oh, Kendrick Lamar. That's going to be big.
Yeah. A
Drake's
lot
going
of
to
Drake
watch.
diss. I bet he doesn't. I think Drake's going to come out. I hope that's
But
a prop.
so we alluded to the third thing. Patrick Mahomes runs to the sideline. And Tim and I have said like someday someone's going to have to hit him because he always fakes and gets extra yards.
He tried to fake too.
Yeah, right. He tried to do his thing. He slowed down, and a Texan pushed him. It was like a forearm shiver. It wasn't even like a form tackle. It was just a get out of here. And he did the floppiest flop. His hands went up, his head shot back, which is part of the reason Will Anderson got the call against him for the roughing the passer because Mahomes just threw his head back. I know he hit him, but it was exaggeration there. But that flop, there was no call. If there was a call there, that would have been it. People would have been like, I don't know if I can do this for the AFC Championship game. A lot of people are still going to watch, millions, millions. But I actually think that would have been like, this isn't fun. I texted you guys that
Yep.
after the second Mahomes call.
Yeah, and that's where it was really like there are soccer players who are jealous of that level of flop right there. That
Yeah,
was full body, nowhere near him. And at some point, I think even the refs had to say to him, like, come on, dude. And
Right.
then the worst part is, and I truly believe this, is he is getting hit in the pocket and delivers a bullet to Travis Kelce like 3 plays later in the end zone. He is so good that he doesn't need to do this shit. That's
yeah.
frustrating. He's good
Hmm.
enough to evade protection and throw a strike to somebody 35 yards down the field. Like he's that good. But he does all this extra shit that it's just like, what are you doing, dude? It's making it annoying like personality wise instead of, oh shit, he's really, really good at football.
Right. It's like the height like 3 years ago where whether it's James Harden or LeBron, the NBA got super annoying because it was just like, oh, what I'm going to do is get into the lane, stop, pump
Yeah.
fake, have three guys like lean into a guy. It's just like you're fucking James Harden and LeBron James. You don't need to do this. And
I
you're
mean,
Patrick
that's
Mahomes. You're
you're
the
not
best player in
saying
the NFL.
I have to jump in. That's that one player you didn't mention there who is the worst at doing that, and has made probably a Hall of Fame career on it is Jimmy Butler. So good
Sure.
luck with any team that signs him.
Yeah. I mean, Dame Lillard. Still does it. I
I
could
feel
keep
like
going
Harden
on
was
and-
the most egregious. When somebody
I
was
mean,
on his
Harden
hip,
and
he would
Butler were
just
right there. But
he would
let's
stop.
that's
And
my fault. We got to get back to football here.
But yeah, it was hard to watch. And in the end, it's like the Chiefs are better, but they got a couple breaks here, and it puts them in
big
great field
breaks.
position at home. And it's just like, did they score on both those drives?
I'm not sure, but I think they got 2 field goals off of both of them, yeah.
Okay, so though it's tough at the beginning there because you stop the Chiefs at home early, and you have a chance, I think, to go up with a second score. I think the Texans scored first. So, but yeah, jump through tables because now I personally just like Josh Allen. I want to
Yeah,
see him win.
I I can't do it. The Bills.
I just think
Sorry.
the lead up to this game is going to be annoying because it's going to be the past 4 years of playoff games, the 13-second thing. Although that game was pretty
That's
cool to watch.
bonkers.
The game's going to be awesome, but listen, from here on out, we're spending essentially 3 weeks to talk about 3 football games. Like it's gonna
Yeah,
be
we got to
terrible
figure out.
covering it. Yeah. So, and that's the narrative. I mean, just avoid that crap. But I can't bring myself to root for the Bills, Dolphins, or Jets to win anything, and I just won't. Damn it.
I'm a Commanders
Yeah.
fan.
Well, we'll get there, but
Did you
I'm
see
just
the
saying.
stat about the Texans? They're the only team to ever lose a
Yeah,
playoff game, leading what
but
is it,
they're
leading
also.
yards and no
Oh,
turnovers.
I haven't seen
Every other
that.
team was 49-0.
Well, it's tough when you're playing the 12th man, Tim.
Yeah. Also, I might be wrong,
Usually
but
are.
so the Texans, it started to look like they were going to lose. CJ Stroud starts limping around.
Oh, here we go.
Does he play
This
the
guy.
game? He ran the next play. He limped off the field, went to the tent, came out, and then ran it for 25 yards and put his head down.
I
To anybody who questions the toughness of NFL players on a certain given time or day, there is a world that any of the softest hits they get is harder than any hit us in Division 3 football ever experienced.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like he kind of plays like we're gonna lose. Let me limp around. I'm gonna say I was hurt.
no one does
I
that.
don't think he
Professional
got
athletes
eliminated from
don't
the
do that.
playoff. No, he got eliminated from the playoffs last year, and he never once said, "Oh, I was hurt."
No, but
He
he
I
got
has.
think that
eliminated
is
from the playoffs yesterday and never said, "Oh, I was hurt."
But people are like, oh well, he was limping around.
You're
Tim,
doing that.
have you
You're the
ever
people
hit
who are doing it right
Yeah.
now.
Have you ever
You guys don't listen to enough sports talk radio.
the the falling on essentially an ice rink knee first doesn't feel good. He hopped around because it fucking hurts.
Okay, you know.
That's just
And
like
he didn't make an excuse after the game, like you said. Well, he was probably trying to make an excuse. He didn't make that excuse.
that's the asshole that after the team loses it goes to work the next day is like, who they don't fucking care. They got enough money. They don't actually fucking care. That's you, Tim. You jail guys. Just miserable. All right. So we're gonna go to the big upset of the weekend. And that was the Lions losing at home to the Commanders. And it was okay, here's a question I want to pose to you two. And I actually was like, holy shit, this crazy man might have a point. I'm scrolling Instagram reels before, POTUS finally saved TikTok. I don't have TikTok, but I was on an Instagram reel and there was a video of Stephen A. Smith. And he just said, it was from some show, I don't know when, but he just said, who is the best quarterback in the NFC? And no one, they didn't have the other person. And he was just like, say it. Say who it is. Like egging him on. He goes, it's a rookie. He was saying that the best quarterback in the NFC is Jaden Daniels. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, shit. Like going through them in my head. The only ones I could think of that kind of compare are Hurts and Stafford.
I immediately went Stafford in my head, and then I'm trying to. I don't
Baker
know if I.
Mayfield, maybe.
Yeah, that's
Baker, yeah, sure.
I
But
tell you who
it's
it's
like
not.
Jared
It's
Goff,
it's not Jared Goff
not
or
Jared Goff.
Sam Darnold.
no, not Sam
Um,
Darnold.
but it's actually kind of crazy. He is so good. He is like you. It's 3rd and 7. You could cover everyone. And it's like fuck. He's just gonna run for 9 yards. There's like, there's. I'm sure there's like quarterback gurus can find a hole in his game, but I watch him play and I'm like, I trust him on every play.
Yeah. Well, I agree. The best part about him is that he just doesn't seem like a rookie quarterback at all. Having watched a rookie quarterback play, I don't know, how many games did May play? Like 12 games that he started or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, there were times where you're like, all right, he looks good, like raw talent, like they did it right. But then, like, he would make the mistake or the bad throw that Jaden Daniels just doesn't make.
Right,
Like, I
the one
think it
over the
was,
middle that sails over the guy's head to the safety.
yeah,
Like,
it's like one of those dudes who, um, it reminds me of like Andrew Luck when he first came out, where it was just like he completely understands how to play quarterback.
It's like he's already there.
Yeah.
It's like now he can just get bigger, stronger, and smarter.
And I said this to you guys in the text chain, but they are the most dangerous kind of team. The nobody's going to think we're going to win. We're going to be 10 to 14 point underdogs going into Philadelphia. Um, the last game they played against Philly was crazy. That was that like 3 touchdowns and 2 minute finish, right? Or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, that was a crazy game. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I just
I
nobody
saw it
like,
opened at 5.5.
and the Eagles didn't play well. All I like think 10 of 11 Eagles didn't have the best game offensively against the Rams. So I don't know. If I were the Eagles, I would not want to play the Commanders this weekend.
no, and the Lions just they started trying to get too cute again too early.
Ben Johnson
Like
must
the
have
trick
had a
plays.
heart attack when whoever threw that, the receiver that threw that pass, who was that?
That's
Jamison
Jamison
Williams.
Williams.
J- He must have said 3,000 times during practice, throw it away if it's not there. Throw it away.
Yeah.
Like Jared Goff's not making that throw, and he's our quarterback. Throw it away.
Yeah, I don't think Jamison Williams had the best reaction to that either. He came off the field and was pissed at the coaches for being pissed at him. Like, I mean, that's a pretty big spot to make that mistake. You're not a quarterback.
Nope.
Like,
Throw it away.
yeah. But I mean, going on just the Ben Johnson stuff, I mean, yeah, it was too cute too early. I think that was the one really big mistake. Everything else was perfectly called and executed. I
That
mean,
double pitch play where
Oh my
dude,
God.
Tom
that was
Brady in
crazy.
the Tom Brady in the booth said he had never seen anything like that.
That was
Like
good.
that was so inventive. That was really great.
When they show the replay and you're like, holy shit, he's subtly half a yard back so that he can pitch it forward. It was like in real time, you're like, wow, that was cool. And then they showed it again, different angle, a little slower, and you're like, wowzers. But this brings us to the next question. I think they'll be back and good again next year, but can they win it with Jared Goff? The Patriots, there was a report that came out an hour before a not so good Patriots team won the Super Bowl against them, and the report said we are going to put the ball in Jared Goff's hands because we think he's going to shit his pants. And then make or break time at the end, he threw a pass to Stephon Gilmore.
There are some outstanding defensive breakdown videos on YouTube talking about the scheme that Belichick did that game to just make the Rams to basically take everything McVay did all season and just make it complete nonsense. So I say that. But to answer your question, Tom, no. No, they can't.
I,
Is it's the same kind of thing with Sam Darnold. No matter the numbers, and he has amazing weapons like Jahmyr Gibbs and Williams are touch the ball and score kind of weapons, like from any distance out.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the best possession
Yeah,
drive-by-drive receivers in football.
receivers, yes. And I didn't even mention Montgomery and that offensive line.
Laporta,
Laporta was
like
hurt,
it's
right?
he
Laporta
scored a
was not
touchdown.
hurt. He had
He made that
one of the
one-handed
best
touchdown
catches
catch.
of yeah. So, but having said all that, he's still the quarterback that kind of shrinks in the game like Sam Darnold. Like they're just not big game guys. And I
That's
think
what
that especially in a division that has Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels now, and Baker Mayfield and Stafford, like all guys that did get eliminated, but at the same time, I think the way the Lions played defensively, any one of those quarterbacks could have went into Detroit and put up 45 points.
It should be noted that half their defense is on injured reserve. Their best defensive players out for this, like,
That definitely doesn't help, and that sucks for them. That does
but
suck.
no,
And then
I
it was
next
their
year they're
that
healthy.
was
I'm
their thing.
thinking,
Is the
make
defense going to put up 45?
I don't think the Commanders put up 45 if their defense.
That's why I
is
mean,
healthy.
is the
Yeah,
defense
I
going to
know.
allow
Yeah.
45? Yeah.
Um. So that's
But
my
next year,
only
Timmy,
reason that
I will
I would
say
say
though, but
Jared Goff might be able to.
before you say that, next year Jared Goff is losing his OC, and Dan Campbell is losing his defensive coordinator
possibly.
because both possibly, but both Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn will be offered jobs. I think.
I
I
read something that I don't know. I get tricked by the internet pretty easily.
mhm.
Um, Ben Johnson reportedly said that he's going to be the Raiders coach,
I
Yeah,
didn't
he's
see
or
gonna
is
have to
that.
fight Deion Sanders for that.
Deion
I
Sanders
take
is not leaving Colorado.
Um, I think I agree, and I agreed in text Saturday night or whenever it was about the defensive players. But Jared Goff threw 3 picks and had 1 fumble. They had
Yeah.
5 turnovers.
3 bad picks. Like some
It's
of the picks
just
were bad. Like not as bad as Jamison Williams, but he's a receiver. Like so,
the pick six might have been worse than Jamison Williams because he
yeah,
just
that was
threw it
right
to
to
the
him.
Commanders. So I don't know. I just don't.
What was the question? Can he win it or can he get him there?
Can you win? Can you win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff? Now,
I don't
this
know
goes
because you're
back.
going to play a great quarterback in the AFC,
This is
whoever it might be.
my other thing. Um, and it goes. This is something everyone talked about after the Patriots came back against the Falcons. You have this offensive guru, genius guy. Jahmyr Gibbs was not stopped like one time he touched the ball. If Jared Goff has now thrown 2 picks, Jahmyr Gibbs should touch the ball 2 times every possession, like every set of downs.
Yeah,
Get
they
him the
had
ball.
Montgomery too. They didn't use Montgomery a lot. Like,
Well, they had an awesome run from Gibbs, and then they sub Montgomery in, and I was just like, why? Unless he's tapping his helmet that he can't, why would
yeah,
you take him out of this game? Give him
yeah.
the ball.
Just to touch on that, Tom. Jahmyr Gibbs carried it 14 times for 105, for a 7.5 average per carry.
In 2
So
touchdowns.
He
yeah,
probably
well,
could have
yeah.
carried it 25 times.
Yeah,
That's what
Montgomery
I'm
only carried it
saying.
7, so like they didn't run a lot. And I think that's kind of in the play calling way that they get when they get down. They think we got to air this out. We have to
Well,
get back.
everyone gets away from the run. Like when the Ravens marched down the field handing the ball off, I was like, yes, thank you for not just thinking I have to pass the ball.
He sent that picture of the hat, which I don't know why
Yeah.
it made me laugh so hard, but I just pictured an old Southern football coach saying, "Run the damn ball."
Yeah. So I don't get it. Jahmyr Gibbs should have taken snaps. Direct snaps. If you
Wildcat
put
action.
If you put Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in the backfield, the Commanders are more nervous than if you have Jared Goff in the shotgun.
Hmm. I mean, they had Teddy Bridgewater in there and they scored. Like I was when that happened, when Teddy Bridgewater came in and they hit that trick play for 60 yards to score, that was like, oh, this team, they're gonna win. They're gonna pull this out. And then Goff came back out, and it was almost like, I don't know that Teddy B would have thrown some of those picks.
Teddy Two Gloves would have been very efficient. But the Commanders, exciting. It's I know you don't want to root for him, but would you not think a Commanders Bills Super Bowl would be awesome?
Yeah, I don't know why I wouldn't want to root for that either. My gosh, Amon-Ra
Yeah, that
St.
would
Brown
just
had
be
such a good
that'd
game.
be all offense. It'd be the best. So brings us to our last game where Saquon Barkley beat the Rams.
Again,
Um, again. And at one point I just texted you guys they should just run through the B gap on the right side every time. And they did you see the video of Saquon
Yeah.
after his long touchdown at the end? It looks
Oh,
like he
when he
where
tells Hurts.
he looks at Hurts and it looks like he says, "Watch this." I thought he said "Watch 90" or something, saying someone's number, but it looks like he said "Watch this," and then he takes off. Like he looked at the defense and he was like, "Oh, we got him." But Jack, you asked, "Do they have a run defense?" And apparently they don't.
no, you
That's
know
your
what?
answer.
You know what, Tom? I actually did some digging on that. Their run defense suddenly retired last offseason, and that was number
Yeah.
99, Aaron Donald.
Yes, his name was Aaron Donald. Um,
And that's what
but
happened.
And Tom, you said in the text you hate snow. I
yeah,
don't think I've ever seen a team get so affected by
a
snow.
dome team from Los
I
Angeles,
can
California.
The only other time I can remember is the Tennessee Titans played the Patriots once, and the Patriots had throwback uniforms on,
Oh
and
Oh
yeah.
Tom
yeah.
Brady had 400 yards in 2 quarters with like 6 touchdowns and
I
a
think he had
perfect
5
passer rating.
touchdowns in the first quarter or something.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. And it was a
That was
perfect
the
passer rating.
best.
So, but it was literally the Patriots ran straight, and the Titans tried to do cuts and stuff. It's straight line football
My
in the snow.
my thing is, these are high stakes games. If it's going to be cold, that's fine. But you bring the element of snow into it, and it's like now ex- exciting games can end on not Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford just losing the ball because it's slick and cold from snow. It's like that's not how I want to watch football. I want to
I
watch.
mean, the people at NFL Films right now listening to what you're
Rolling
saying.
over.
Yeah, Steve Sabol.
Sorry,
I mean, you're 100% incorrect.
Yeah.
That is
sorry. I
the
just don't
entire
like
point
snow football.
of trying. That's what home field advantage is.
Home
That's
field
why the
advantage is your
Bills.
crowd.
No,
And it
it's
could
also
snow.
playing in. It's also playing in Foxborough Stadium with a crazy snowstorm. That only one kicker in football could hit field goal kicks in.
No, I've said this on the podcast before, and I will repeat it. This especially holds true. Mainly, this is a baseball statement, but I also think it should take place in football too. These teams are worth billions and billions of dollars. Their owners are worth billions and billions of dollars. Every stadium should have a retractable roof.
Does the home team get to pick when it's open?
Sure,
Like the Eagles, hey, it's going to snow, and we have the Rams coming. We're going to open it.
sure, that can be a part of it, but also just
No,
I
so
say
that
it
just
mainly.
defeats your purpose.
I can't.
I mainly say it for baseball is my main thing because it's like
Well, baseball's played in the summer, and they cancel games when it's raining.
that's what I'm saying. That's why
Uh,
I started this. But now I'm just like, fuck it, do it for everyone.
I disagree. The snow games are awesome. If it was in the middle of Miami and it was pouring, it would have been awesome too. I think. Listen, it's
Miami
just
versus
the
Kansas City
way.
in the playoffs last year was like 10-3 because it was so cold. People were opening beers and they were instantly freezing. That's not worth it. Wouldn't you have liked to see warm, neutral field, that crazy Miami offense last year against the Chiefs? Instead of it being negative 30 degrees.
But that just benefits the Dolphins. The Chiefs
The
were the home team.
But the Chiefs didn't have a good offensive game. It wasn't an exciting game. I'm a fan here. I'm talking from the fan experience.
You just don't like low scoring games, it sounds like. And the
I don't like shitty
Eagles,
football because no one can hold on to the ball or grip it to catch it or drop passes.
I just disagree.
Well,
I
so
do
The
too.
Eagles
we
didn't
can,
have
you know
turnovers.
what? In a normal world, Tim, we are allowed to just disagree. This doesn't have to turn into a lynch mob.
Well, give it an hour.
So the Eagles win, and now we can talk about the conference championship games, which will be played next Sunday. The first one is Commanders at Eagles. NFC East battle.
3 and 6 o'clock is just perfect, by the way.
Yeah. Can we petition the NFL? We're guys on the East Coast. Make the first game at noon. The next game at the next wave at 3:30, and start the Sunday night game at 7 o'clock. The East Coast doesn't care.
We don't.
And I doubt the West
but
Coast will care at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know about that. That's you're arguing uphill. You're arguing against the wall there, and they're not going to change start times.
I think they
Um,
should.
but I agree. I like 3 and 6. The game
They don't have
yesterday got
kids.
over at like 9:30.
Perfect.
Yeah.
People on the West Coast have kids.
No, I'm saying the NFL doesn't. The NFL decision makers.
All right, are we going to pick these things or what?
Yeah, so what do you think? Commanders, Eagles.
I have the Eagles, but I hope it's a game. Oh, listen, all four of the games I think that this last weekend were good to watch, maybe with the exception of Chiefs Texans. Um, but I just want it to be a good competitive football game, and it should be with two division teams.
I'm going Commanders. I'm riding the hot hand.
There you go, Tim. There you go.
I
I wanted
just
to.
I just don't like they beat the Bucks and I took the Bucks in that game. And they, in the fourth quarter kind of kicked the shit out of the Lions. Do you trust Jalen Hurts? I mean,
Not as I trust Saquon Barkley.
yeah. That was a good cut
I'm
by
gonna
the
go
Giants.
the
You know what it
Eagles
was? It was a
because
good. There you go, Tom. Sorry. Go ahead.
no, just because I'm a cynical asshole when it comes to sports. And I always think the most boring thing's gonna happen, like Yankees, Dodgers.
Yeah, you called that for a few years until it finally came to fruition for
Yeah,
you.
you just gotta keep it going. So,
Yeah.
and just a quick check on my phone, 40 degrees and cloudy in Philadelphia, so it should be a good game.
Mhm. Hope no snow rolls in. Both teams know how to play in the snow.
Tim, I'm just saying, the quality of football goes down when there's snow. I don't care that it looks good on your HD TV.
I
The
was watching
that
that
last that
32
last
inch.
drive of the Rams game, that was pretty hectic snow. Like I was watching that and the color of the Rams jerseys, it was just like, damn, they're going through it right now.
I forgot one point I wanted to make on Eagles Rams. Saquon Barkley shoots down the sideline, scores a long touchdown. The Rams had trouble the entire game to generate points. I've said this 1,000 times. Tim, you should be able to answer this. Why were the Rams able to score in a minute and a half?
Because they were playing prevent defense.
Prevent defense doesn't prevent anything. It's
Yeah.
such bullshit.
It prevents wins, Tom.
Yes. Well, they got shit lucky that Jalen Carter finally just mauled someone and tackled Matthew Stafford on third down. Anyways, yeah. So the next game, Bills Chiefs. This is honestly, this is the matchup. People have wanted it. This has been what 3 years now, 4 years of they've met each other, and the Bills can't get over the hump.
Yeah, I don't think they do again.
Yeah, same.
I
Patty
just
Mahomes for 3.
Fucking Christ, I agree. I'm not picking
I,
against
I don't
Mahomes.
want it. I would rather it be
You know what's
Bills,
going to happen?
Eagles, or Bills, Commanders, but it's not going to happen.
It's going to be a very similar finish to the 13-second game. Like, unless a team scores with 0 time left, one of the other quarterbacks is going to score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I don't understand, and I understand Travis Kelce is great, like from
Was.
my couch.
I'm going to say the same thing. Go ahead, Tim.
How is he that open
In the
just
middle of the
when
field.
in the middle of the
In
field
the
when it
middle
matters
of
the
the
most?
field. It's almost like every time a team sends pressure, the second thing for hey, you're blitzing, the other guy should be you're on number 87.
Right.
No
If somebody
matter
else
where
beats
he
us, that's
goes.
cool.
It's not even
Yeah.
like he's doing moves. He's basically just like hopping over behind a defender until Mahomes sees him.
The last touchdown to Kelsey, there was two safeties standing behind him, and then like two linebackers on either side of him, but nobody was quite close enough. And it's like you all know he's standing right there.
He doesn't run routes. He just sits down.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, go to the middle, sit down, and if Patrick scrambles, just kind of go in that direction.
Or go away from the zone.
Yeah. This I was thinking of this yesterday when the Eagles won. And the Rams had a chance, to come back and at the end and score and win. Same with 13 Chiefs games this year. This Super Bowl is going to be two teams, and they're the kings of how the hell did they just win that game? And we're not going to know. How are they going to figure out who wins the Super Bowl? Because they're both supposed to pull it out at the end, the two teams.
Well, they probably will release the script.
Oh, yeah. It'll leak. Trump will leak it.
It'll happen after today, yeah.
Yeah. That JFK.
To get back at
aliens.
Taylor Swift. But I really just want what I think would actually be great for Sunday is if the Bills got up like 14-0. I want to see if that offense for the Chiefs can actually like come back from two scores against a good team because they haven't had to. But I'm a little nervous. This was the case for the Patriots a lot during their run. If you beat the Patriots in the regular season, they're getting you in the playoffs. So I'm afraid that the Chiefs losing to the Bills in the regular season, it's like they're going to get you in the playoffs. Last year we could have had Ravens, Lions, and we got fucking 49ers, Chiefs. And now we're going to get Eagles, Chiefs again. Another repeat Super Bowl. When we could have Jaden Daniels as a rookie. They haven't been in the NFC Championship game in 12,000 days, I read on The Athletic today. 91, Tim,
Yikes.
you weren't born. You've never seen this.
I know. That's why, I'm going to be a huge Commanders fan.
So we're both. I think we're all.
I heard they're
pulling
going
for
throwback uniforms too.
Redskins.
Redskins.
Oh, boy.
Hey, it's a new America. All right. I think that should do it for today. Tim's got to get to work. Tim's got a new schedule, new job.
Wait, I know we're at time here. We're so close. Anything we want to talk about the Celtics?
Hey, listen, I brought this up a couple weeks ago, and they've
Not
just kept it
playing
going.
well.
There were 20 seconds left with no timeouts for the Hawks. They were up 3, and they lost the game.
Yeah.
They threw
Tom,
the ball out of bounds.
A couple of weeks ago when you brought it up, I wasn't concerned. Now they just haven't done anything different in any of the games. There's not been one different play called, really, or different rotation or anything.
I'm not quite worried yet.
I agree. Like, they're going to get in the playoffs, and they're going to be the 2 or 3 seed, and that's great. But I want to see him play like, can this team win 6 games in a row, please?
Yeah.
Down the stretch, after the All-Star break, they need to. I would hate to see, and I think we talked about it Saturday, Tom. Them think they're we can turn it on team.
Yep.
Because
that's just that at all.
That's not a real you're not the Warriors, and the Warriors never really did that.
No, you have to play good leading into the playoffs.
I did I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about the Celtics being, I guess it's 7-8
Turncoat.
now in the last
They're-
15,
Yeah.
and they're eighth overall in like total team at that time. Like some
Yeah.
stat where like the teams are playing are giving them their best effort, pretty much. Like, but they're
Yeah.
still eighth in the league.
Well, you still should be able to beat the 9-win Toronto Raptors if they're giving you their best effort.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just
I
I
agree.
don't love it situation.
Well, and they went on the
Right.
West Coast and they did well outside
Yeah,
of the
three
fourth
three out of
quarter of
four is
the
great.
Oklahoma game. And now they came home and they said, let's coast to the let's
Get
coast
to
to
the All-Star break. I actually think that one of their big stars needs to be like left off the All-Star team as like kind of a spur-on moment. It's just
Ooh,
something to
little
wake them
Jaylen
up.
Brown again.
I don't know
I
if
heard you
if
guys were talking about having him traded.
That was
yeah,
not us. That was Dakota from somewhere, and
Timothy.
it grew legs. All right. Yeah.
Put
So
on
they
98.5
play
in the
today.
cruiser today
Actually,
and see who's
5 o'clock. Nice. That's a nice time for a ball game. Ooh,
Yeah.
Notre Dame, Ohio State. I think we all align on this.
Oh yeah.
Let's say
Okay.
it. 1, 2, 3.
Notre Dame.
Notre
Ohio
Dame.
State. Oh, you guys. Let me clarify that. I want Notre Dame to win, but I
Yeah,
think
sure.
that
I think Ohio State was winning. I didn't
I
know
think.
Tom was going to do the same thing I was going to do.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I
so
don't
we
think it's
all
gonna be
think
that close.
Ohio State's going to win by like 20, 28 points, right? It's going to be
I don't know about like
But Marcus Freeman's handsome.
yeah, and he's probably going to get the Chicago Bears job after tonight.
that's crazy.
They want him, Tim.
I don't
Hey, Tim,
understand college
one final bit
coaches
of news
getting.
before we go is Anthony Santander signed with the Blue Jays.
I was worried about that. Hey, how about the
40
Red
homers.
Sox? They got that catcher from St. Louis,
Yeah.
and they
He's-
won't pay Duran. That's crazy.
They just
No,
agreed on
they
a
just
one-year
agreed
deal
on
with
a
an
deal.
option for 26.
He's their best player. Why not give him a 7-year deal?
He's
I
up
guess their
there.
second best player.
They don't pay their good players, I guess is the thing, right?
Not the ones that are Hall of Famers
No,
that are in their prime.
no. Did
And
he
with
do
that,
anything after
see you
that?
later, Murph. I'm not going to be back. You guys are going to have to do this next week. I'm on a ski trip next Monday. Loon Mountain. No, not that kind of ski. For
Hurt my
everyone
nose.
not on YouTube, Jack was
Yeah, I was
implying
in rehab.
cocaine usage. um, no, guys, if you ever get the chance, this is no free ads, no ads at all, but no free ads except Flapjacks in Lincoln, New Hampshire. You go in, they're known for their pancakes, right?
Mm.
And you go in and you're like, I'm excited for this pancake. I'm excited for a good pancake. They're so fucking good. It's actually like, I can't believe it exceeded the hype. So I'm going to eat that every morning for 4 days.
Congratulations, Tom.
Yeah, that
Thanks.
sounds nice.
Yeah, I know you guys like breakfast food, so I want to tell you that. All right. Any final thoughts on the day? Don't say
I
it, Tim.
wasn't
I'm
here
just gonna
last
cut it
week.
out.
Very excited about Mike Vrabel.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Vrabel.
Yeah.
We're getting
I'm
two great
excited.
leaders this week.
Yep. And
Oh God.
fucking hell. Tim, you're a dumb person, but that was pretty clever.